Struggling to write something and just staring at a blank screen? Maybe it's an email you've been putting off for 3 days. Maybe it's a bio, a cover letter, a thank you note you feel weird about. Whatever it's been sitting on your to-do list, what if you could just describe what you need out loud and have a first draft waiting for you in about 30 seconds? That's not some premium subscription thing. That's free ChatGPT right now, available to anyone with a phone or a laptop. Writing takes time. Not because people are bad at it. Most people are fine at it. But because starting is hard, organizing thoughts is hard, and finding the right tone for the right person is genuinely tricky. That's where AI writing tools have quietly become something a lot of people are using every day in 2025. Not to replace their voice or their thinking, but to get the rough shape of something onto the page fast so they can actually work with it. OpenAI ChatGPT, the free version, is probably the most accessible AI tool out there right now. No special skills, no tech background. Just a browser and something you need to write. Stack Future is where we break all of this down into plain English, for real people with real things to do. If that sounds useful to you, hit subscribe. New video drops every single day. Here's the shift that changes everything. You don't have to write anymore. You just have to react. Most people open a blank document and try to build something out of nothing. That's exhausting. Your brain is not designed to create and evaluate at the same time. It's genuinely hard. And that's why so many writing tasks get put off forever. What free ChatGPT does is hand you something to react to. And reacting? That's easy. You know immediately when something sounds off. You know when a word feels too formal. You know when the tone is wrong. That instinct is already in you. You just need something to push against. So instead of writing an email, you describe the email. You open up ChatGPT, totally free at chat.openai.com. No account required in many cases, though signing up takes 2 minutes, and you type something like, "Write a professional but friendly email to my landlord asking about getting my deposit back. The lease ended last month and I haven't heard anything." That's it. Hit enter. In about 10 seconds, you have a full draft. Now here's the part people skip. Don't just copy and paste it. Read it out loud. Change the words that don't sound like you. Maybe the email it gave you says, "I hope this message finds you well," and you'd never say that. Delete it. The point isn't to let AI write for you. The point is to never start from zero again. That's the whole trick. Describe it. Get a draft. Make it yours. It takes a fraction of the time, and the finished product is still 100% coming from what you know and what you want to say. Okay, so this is the part most beginner ChatGPT tips skip over, and it matters a lot. The free ChatGPT AI is incredibly good, but it's not a mind reader. It responds to what you give it. Vague question, vague answer. Specific question, genuinely useful answer. So spending 10 extra seconds on how you ask something pays off hugely on the other side. Think of it like ordering at a restaurant. If you say, "Give me something good," you might get something fine. If you say, "I want something spicy, no shellfish, and not too heavy because I'm eating late," now you're getting somewhere. Same principle here. Instead of typing, "Write me a bio," try, "Write a short professional bio for my LinkedIn profile. I'm a project manager with 8 years of experience in healthcare." I want it to sound confident, but not arrogant. And I want it to be around 100 words. See how much more specific that is? You told it the platform, the job, the experience, the tone, and the length. ChatGPT now has everything it needs to actually help you. And if the first version isn't quite right, which happens, you can just say, "Make it a bit more casual," or "Can you make the opening line stronger?" You don't start over. You just nudge it. That back and forth is honestly where the magic lives. It feels like editing with a collaborator who has infinite patience and no ego about their work. People think AI writing tools are for like bloggers and marketers. And sure, those people use it. But the everyday use cases are so much more interesting. Think about everything you've written in the last month where you felt a little stuck. Performance review for your own work? ChatGPT can help you frame your accomplishments without sounding braggy. Wedding speech and you hate public speaking? Tell it who the couple is, how you know them, and one funny memory. It'll give you a starting point. Cover letter for a job you actually want but don't know how to pitch yourself for? Paste in the job description and your work history and ask it to connect the dots. There's also a category of writing nobody talks about. The awkward stuff, the text to a friend you had a falling out with, the message to a coworker who's been difficult, the complaint email to a company that you want to sound firm but not unhinged. Genuinely, ChatGPT is great for this. You can say, help me write something that's honest but doesn't start a fight, and it will give you options that actually feel human. What about social media captions? Absolutely. Birthday messages when your brain is totally blank? Yes. Study notes reformatted into something easier to understand? All of it. The free version of ChatGPT, the one anyone can use today without paying anything, handles all of this. Productivity with AI doesn't have to mean some complicated workflow. Sometimes it's just, you need a thing written. And now it takes 4 minutes instead of 40. This is the step most people either skip or don't know exists, and it's the difference between AI writing that sounds robotic and AI writing that actually sounds like a person, specifically like you. When you're using ChatGPT for beginners-type guidance, a lot of it focuses on just getting a draft out, which is great. But if every email and message you send has that same slightly formal AI texture, people start to notice. And more importantly, it stops feeling like your voice. There's a simple fix. Tell ChatGPT how you talk. Seriously. Before or during your request, add a few words about your style. Something like, I want this to sound casual, like I'm texting a friend, not writing a cover letter. Or, I tend to be pretty direct, and I don't like small talk at the start of emails. Or even, here's an example of how I usually write. Paste something you've already written. Match this tone. That last one is especially good. You can paste in an old email, a social post, anything, and ask ChatGPT to use that as a reference for your writing style. It picks up on things like sentence length, how much you use contractions, whether you tend to be warm or efficient. And then it brings that into whatever you're building next, which honestly took me a minute to figure out too. But once you start doing it, the output feels so much more like something you'd actually send without editing half of it first. If there's one thing that sticks with you from all of this, it's just the idea that you're not trying to get AI to write for you. You're using it to get unstuck faster. A draft in 30 seconds beats a blank page for 30 minutes every single time. React to something. Tweak it. Make it yours. That's the whole move. You don't need writing skills to use this. You just need to know what you want to say. And most